Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So Bitcoin right now trading at about $31,000 on low volume. We did see a bit of a decline for Bitcoin, and we have seen this over the last several days. Bitcoin is bringing down altcoins along with it. This is XRP on the daily, and I already had a Fibonacci on here. Now you guys can see we are not even close to the 0.236. We are actually hovering right back down, looking to retrace that former low that XRP saw right after the tumble from the inter-year high of about almost $2, about $1.96. So not too much going on within cryptocurrencies. You guys can see with regards to most cryptocurrencies, everything is in the red, anywhere between 2% and 10%, give or take. Not too much that is trading in the green right now. You can see the market cap is down below 1.3 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 46%. So we really haven't taken a look at Bitcoin dominance for a while now, at least not on the chart. You guys can see over here, when we were seeing that altcoin rally, we were seeing Bitcoin dominance just kind of take a tumble. And now Bitcoin trying to climb its way back up, although this trend does not look nearly as strong as what we have seen in the past, which would suggest to me that Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to tumble. Okay, you can even just see it up here in the volume, right? High volume, high negative volume for the Bitcoin dominance plummeting, which means that altcoins took away that dominance from Bitcoin. Then that slow retrace where Bitcoin was trying to regain its dominance, but you guys can see down here, volume so much lower down here for that. So the volume's lower down here. So what I'm suggesting is what we're going to see next, volume rising again. And what could that suggest? Well, that could suggest that Bitcoin will keep plummeting, make further lows, which ultimately means that the alt season is really going to bring up altcoin prices. And you guys can see, even in 2018, we did see that final Bitcoin dominance percentage bottom out at about 35%. So all the way down here. So we are not even close to the all-time low for Bitcoin dominance. Not yet. We're still just waiting for altcoins to pick up the pace. Of course, there is a lot going on in cryptocurrency news as a whole. This brought to us by the Cryptic Poet here on Twitter with regards to PayPal and how they're increasing their weekly cryptocurrency purchase limit fivefold, guys, to $100,000. So PayPal is upping the amount of cryptocurrency users can purchase by 5 times. PayPal's users can now buy $100,000 worth of Bitcoin and other digital assets per week, up from the previous limit of only $20,000. So I guess they were seeing that there was a lot of excitement, a lot of demand for the purchase of cryptocurrencies, and so they upped the limit. The company is also scrapping its annual purchase limit of $50,000. These changes will enable our customers to have more choice and flexibility in purchasing cryptocurrency on our platform. This coming from Jose Fernandez de Ponte, PayPal's vice president and of blockchain, crypto and digital currencies, said in a statement. He said that on Thursday, which was just yesterday. PayPal first started letting users buy cryptocurrencies in October, as we know. It later added the capability to buy Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash on its mobile payment app Venmo. The product has a $1 spending requirement and lets users share crypto purchases with friends through Venmo's social feed. So I think that in part they are upping these limits not just because of the demand, but also because of the regulatory clarity that I'm sure somebody over at PayPal is likely on the inside of where government policy is going to go. And so they're announcing this. You can open up purchases to 5 times more than they were before. So now the limit is $100,000 as opposed to $20,000, and they have completely scrapped that $50,000 annual purchase limit. What this says to me, guys, is another thing. PayPal, probably at the beginning when they were offering this, were offering it, and maybe their thoughts were the kinds of people that are going to be getting into crypto on our platform might be running on the GameStop hype and looking for an easy, fast, quick way to buy cryptocurrencies, to buy Bitcoin in order to make a lot of money and then sell out. And so I think for that reason they had those limitations in. Now, in 2021, so far this has been the year for regulatory clarity, and I think that this is why, or at least partially the reasons why we are seeing these changes. Interesting to see, though, how the crypto space is transforming slowly but surely. Guys, this is another one from the Cryptic Poet with regards to Ripple partner Moneynet Int. They're opening up to Brazilian markets. So Moneynet Int, the payment service provider connecting SMEs to the world's banking ecosystem, today announced a unique service that slashes the cost of doing business with Brazil and creates a level playing field for SMEs expanding into a major developing market. Following a partnership with Banco Rendimento, the Sao Paulo-based specialist bank for small and medium-sized enterprise businesses, Moneynet Int, now enables any company to make payments to Brazil-based businesses or individuals for a fraction of the cost of traditional international payment services. And we know Moneynet Int runs on Ripple, of course. Definitely a Ripple partner. Wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for posting that. Here's another one, guys, from MacAttack XRP here on Twitter. Bitcoin might be integrated by the Flare network. So, you never thought you'd see it? Well, Flare is considering it. The FLR team and community suggest one more way for Bitcoin to get rid of proof of work. And this is the biggest thing, I think, for a lot of Bitcoin, or rather for a lot of the institutions and, communities, governments, for a lot of them to be able to accept Bitcoin. The big elephant in the room here is the proof of work consensus, which, it just doesn't jive with the environmentally friendly narrative as we're moving, throughout the 2020s now. This is now front and center. I mean, we did talk about climate change and environment in the past, but now, with a new financial system, with the Great Reset, this initiative that the World Economic Forum wants to pursue, the environment is a big topic, and so proof of work consensus will just not do. An enthusiast from the Flare community asked about the possibility of Bitcoin integration by the Flare smart contract platform. He said it would be a massive opportunity for Bitcoin, and this was coming from Brad Kimes' Twitter account here. Flare Networks would love to see F assets for FBTC, and it would certainly help to get Bitcoin from proof of work to staking as well. Like Chris Larson's most recent call to action to get Bitcoin to move away from proof of work. And so the Flare Network responded here. Bitcoin can be added via governance if it was added transacting FBTC on Flare or issued trustless from Flare to the XRP ledger could be a useful and trustless alternative to the Lightning Network. So perhaps some competition if it were to happen for the Lightning Network. Flare Networks, the startup behind Flare's blockchain solutions, responded and assured the user that this integration is indeed possible. So could you imagine that? BTC running on the XRP ledger. I mean, there are so many possibilities for this already. Flare Network's just another one to make that happen. Anyway, the dialogue is happening, at least on Twitter. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm sure the guys at the Flare Network, once that is launched, they are likely going to evaluate how well the Flare Network is performing, how popular it is, how many people are using it. And I'm sure that from there, they will see where the growing needs lie, whether it is adding Bitcoin or whether it is adding another cryptocurrency. I'm sure they do have to, take notes over the next few months, see how the Flare Network performs. Anyway, wanted to thank MacAttack XRP for posting that. And this one here, guys, from the Wrath of Kahneman, new Ripple partner Brackbank's 2020 annual report notes that they are planning to launch a blockchain-based remittance gateway in partnership with Ripple. So this was from last year, but this is new news to me. And this is from their document, their 2020 annual report, and they were looking to the following year, looking forward to 2021, launch a blockchain-based remittance payment gateway in partnership with Ripple. Now, this recent notice of their partnership with 5 additional remittance companies relays a recent Ripple partnership notice as well. So, Wrath of Kahneman also pointing this out here from the dailystar.net. These partnerships from KL Remit, Crown Agents, I can't read that there. Is it Handan Trading Group? The Global Money Exchange Co. Limited from Oman, and CBI Money Transfer in Malaysia. So we've got Oman, two companies from Oman here, 2 from Malaysia and 1 from the UK. These all likely running on RippleNet, considering they are connected with Brackbank. Further, Ripple's partner Bcash is also a subsidiary of Brackbank. Bcash was started in 2011 and seems a different project than the Brackbank-Ripple partnership. Bcash seems to be a specifically mobile-based wallet. So Wrath of Kahneman giving us some great information here with regards to this. He also notes, note too that Brack has been working with the Gates Foundation for microfinance in Bangladesh, and we know the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation does indeed have a connection to Ripple as well. So all connected, I mean, not spelled out here, but since you, I, and the rest of the XRP community know about these connections, have been following where the money is going, we can see a lot of these companies do relay back to Ripple, and so it looks like this party is just getting started, guys. And you know what else? I know it's all over Twitter. And, William Hinman's name, I think it was hashtag Hinman, was trending yesterday in the United States on Twitter. The judge has now allowed Ripple to depose SEC official who decided ETH is not a security. Now, Jeremy Hogan talked about this in a video he posted last night. I'm going to go over some of the points that he talked about, but that's not all, guys. There's some more that I want to talk about with regards to this, and it has to do with some specific funding models with regards to XRP ETH, and one other cryptocurrency project that Vitalik noted when he was discussing Ethereum's funding model. So this could have an effect on Hinman's deposition. First of all, U.S. District Court Judge Sarah Netburn has denied the SEC's motion to surpass the deposition of the former director of the SEC Division of Corporate Finance, William Hinman. So we know about this. The deposition may add more weight to Ripple's claim that XRP, or rather the XRP token, is not a security. If there is no appeal from the SEC, Ripple can ask Hinman to testify about the reasoning behind his decision on Ether at the time, and then attempt to apply the same rationale to XRP. Ripple has argued that the SEC cannot regulate XRP as a security because it is a medium of exchange used for international and domestic transactions. According to Bloomberg, the SEC fought the subpoena, saying the questioning would subject high-level government officials to depositions regarding every law, regulation, or policy they consulted on or spoke about, and that later underlay an enforcement action. So Jeremy Hogan talks about this a little bit in his video. You know, the SEC does not want their former employees to just have to go into depositions for the rest of their lives. And so, you know, unless it is an exceptional circumstance, and so it looks as though the court has said, no, this is an exceptional circumstance. William Hinman will be deposed. And what Jeremy Hogan also mentions here in his video, and I will link this video, guys, in the description if you guys want to get the whole picture here from Hogan. But one of the points he makes near the end of the video is the scheduling. So the deposition is scheduled for the 19th, and everybody was on board. When the SEC was asked, they said that we are going to have to evaluate that date. Then Jeremy Hogan goes on to say that that is a very, very, very rare event. We normally never see that kind of thing. And so this is something that he noticed, you know, only as a lawyer. Would you notice those intricacies within the SEC's remarks? So he heard that and thought it was a touch suspicious. What does the SEC know that they don't want Ripple's lawyers to know? What are they trying to hide? XRP researcher here on Twitter, since Hinman doesn't work for the SEC anymore, does he need to call a lawyer to protect himself, to know his rights of what he should and should not answer? Or does the SEC still protect him since he made the statements while he worked for them? That's an interesting question. John Deaton clarifying that up. He will have a private lawyer with him or a team at the deposition. The SEC attorney will instruct him not to answer questions when the SEC claims it's privilege. His private lawyers will also object and run interference. I would seek a special master to preside over it. It's a privilege unique to the government, says James K. Fillon, unlike the attorney-client privilege, so the SEC owns and will invoke the privilege. I would be stunned if he didn't have his own personal attorney. Jeremy Hogan down here saying, I don't know if there's a different local rule in New York, but down here I can't even instruct a third party not to answer a question. Only my client. With a third party, I can only put my objection on the record. So a few lawyers here in the community weighing in on this. William Hinman will likely have his own personal lawyer and will not be relying on the SEC's lawyers. And so going back to some of his comments here, guys, I saw this from XRP Crypto Wolf here on Twitter, just basically stating, I wonder how badly William Hinman is regretting suing Ripple. And Joey Hodel down here posting this clip of William Hinman. Listen to what he has to say.
Moreover, putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether, based on my understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network, its decentralized structure, we believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
We believe current sales of Ether are not securities transactions. A lot of this deposition is hinging on that speech that he made. And I don't know if it was this speech because he has made the statement a few times here that Ether is not a security. But you notice what he said at the beginning too. If we put aside the funding of Ether, because it does sound like there is something questionable about the funding model. I'll play you guys this clip again real quick.
Moreover, putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether,
putting aside the fundraising of the company that created Ether. So William Hinman is indeed, saying that the funding of Ether, putting that aside, because I don't want to talk about that specifically, putting that aside, the way he sees Ethereum today, or at least at the time that this was recorded, he does not see that as a security. So guys, where do we think this is going to go? Mr. BXRP here saying, ultimately Ripple will have to decide what is best for their customers. A long drawn out court case doesn't help financial institutions, countries, and customers move money fast and cheap. If you do a Google search on SEC settlements, here are the numbers. And so I recently did a Google search just looking for SEC cases that did settle. And, I came across some of the more recent ones. But here are some more statistics. Most cases are settled before the SEC brings litigation even. According to knowledgeable sources, approximately 60% of SEC enforcement actions get resolved even before the commission's staff files a lawsuit. In addition, they say roughly 90%, guys, 90% of cases are resolved after some sort of litigation is filed. So Ripple would fall in that category. Litigation is filed, and over 90%, so 9 out of 10 cases don't go to trial. That's only that one odd case that does, and, given our luck in the XRP community, it will be our case, right? That goes to trial. I don't want to put that to the universe, but, I'm just saying, it feels like we have been through a roller coaster of emotions, a roller coaster, even of our portfolios going up and down and up and down. I can't wait till this is over. But back to Hinman's statement here, guys, and this is another one from the Digital Asset Investor. He posted this last month, but I thought it was poignant. I thought it was interesting to bring it up right now, considering we now know that William Hinman will be deposed. And DAI points out here, according to the SEC, proponents of XRP have used social media to disseminate negative and false statements about members of SEC leadership. For this reason, they don't believe William Hinman should be deposed. I am against any such dissemination. Their own words, however, I am in. And here's a clip, guys. I'm going to play you this real quick. William Hinman on CNBC. Listen to this.
Now, you also talked about initial coin offerings, or ICOs, which are ways of raising money using cryptocurrencies. Did you use a similar reasoning? You implied that most seem to be securities, ICOs, but some of them are not. Can you just show us what the difference is simply?
I wish we had a simple way to say this is in and this is out. As I mentioned, there are usually facts and circumstances tests, but a key factor is there a third-party promoter here who knows much more about the instrument than investors might? If that's the case, that's sort of an initial indicator that we might have a securities transaction. If people are buying it for investment and for a return and looking to that party for a return, then again, that's an indicia of a security.
Okay, so I'll talk a bit about the funding model. So we will have a fundraiser for 2 months starting February 1st. It will be available at funds.ethereum.org. So the idea is that part of the initial issuance will be 1,000 Ether for 1 Bitcoin, or up to 2,000 Ether for 1 Bitcoin if you get in early to compensate for the increased risk. So the issuance model is that we will fundraise. Suppose that we hand out X Ether through the fundraiser, then there will be about 0.5x will be pre-mined, and then 0.4x after that will be mined per year forever. So it's this hybrid of MasterCoin, of the MasterCoin and Ripple model.
In your speech that neither Bitcoin nor Ether would be considered securities and thus not under the purview of the SEC, can you very briefly explain what your reasoning is?
Sure, Bob. These are complex facts and circumstances tests, but when we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter where applying the disclosure regime would make a lot of sense. So we're comfortable in some sort of viewing these as items that don't have to be regulated as securities.
No third-party promoter, yet if you guys caught that clip with Vitalik Buterin here in the middle of this video, what did he say? He said Ethereum is basically going to rely on a hybrid model. That hybrid model being that of Ripple's. At that time, XRP and Ripple, the distinction was kind of murky. So we'll assume he means XRP here. That of XRP and MasterCoin. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about MasterCoin. MasterCoin, here's an article, guys, from back in June of 2014. The first Bitcoin 2.0 crowd sale was a wildly successful $7 million disaster. Interesting that they deemed MasterCoin the Bitcoin 2.0. I did not know that. Let me read you guys a little bit of this down here. In April, a startup in Scotland raised $7 million in just 5 hours via a crypto coin crowd sale managed by another Bitcoin-based startup loosely based in Seattle. It was hailed as remarkable, a way for a company to raise funds without going through traditional institutions. The Wall Street Journal called it manic, highlighting a hot Bitcoin 2.0, even if the sale was unorthodox and had wrinkles. In fact, the wrinkles were Shar-Pei level, but far less cute. The startup wound up with less than half that amount in usable money because the majority of its take was in an e-liquid alternative crypto coin, MasterCoin, with a trading market so anemic it can't be cashed out. The value of that coin spiked before the sale and crashed afterwards, leading to allegations of a pump and dump and causing the startup to revise its definition of the crowd sale as raising $5.5 million. So they are flat out saying, we had a crowd sale, we sold the MasterCoin to fundraise this money. So this, a clear-cut example of an ICO. Guys, again, this is MasterCoin. The example that Vitalik Buterin uses in this video when he was describing part of Ethereum's model, and he also said Ripple's model. Now, just to set the record straight here, guys, OpenCoin was what Ripple was called way back when, before the company transformed to Ripple. And as we know, XRP is the token, but OpenCoin began development of the Ripple protocol, or the RTXP, and the Ripple Payment and Exchange Network on April 11th, 2013. OpenCoin announced it had closed an angel round of funding with several venture capital firms. So even as early as April 2013, OpenCoin, which then later became Ripple, we know the XRP token came out of this, they even stated that angel round funding with several venture capital firms was the way they supported the fundraising, was the way they funded this project. And it is public knowledge that, many big players in the space like Andreessen Horowitz, Google Ventures, a lot of these bigwigs have put in millions of dollars to get this project off the ground. So again, a hybrid model, MasterCoin and Ripple, meaning part ICO, part venture capital, at least that's how I read it. And now the judge is going to get William Hinman on the hot seat on July 19th. To be deposed. The SEC still trying to fight that, as Jeremy Hogan mentioned, a very, very rare case. He doesn't know why. We don't know why. Could it have to do with more details about Ethereum, perhaps their funding model that they don't want leaked out? I mean, hey, it's just a theory, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.